Okay, good morning Year 9. So first things first, we're going to mark yesterday's work. So if you just get that in front of you and just check your answers. This is questions 1 and 2, so just pause your video, give yourself a chance to mark your work. Then we'll move down, here's question 3. Again, just mark what you've done. Just make sure that you are cancelling fractions where you can. So it starts as 3/9, but it cancels to a third. And then I think the last one is 8/20 and 2/5. Okay. So any problems with that, and you're not sure why you got it wrong, then please email me and I will try and help you with that. If you know what you did wrong, just make a note in your workbook so you know not to do that again. So we're going to move on, and we've got some new words to learn, some keywords. So the title is Exhaustive and Mutually Exclusive Events. So what we're going to look at, we're going to try and understand the definitions of those two keywords, okay? And then we're going to be able to recognise when events are mutually exclusive and be able to list exhaustive events. And we're going to look a little bit about the probabilities as well. So let's look at some definitions. So exhaustive events are a list of all the outcomes of an experiment. Okay, so if you've got a list of everything that could possibly happen, then you have got exhaustive events. Okay, so for example, if you're throwing a coin, heads and tails are the only thing that can happen when you're throwing a coin. So heads and tails are exhaustive events. Okay. What do we need to learn about that? Well, we need to understand that the probabilities of exhaustive events will always add up to 1. Okay, because it is certain that when you throw a coin, you will get a head or a tail. You are not going to get anything else. So they're the only things that can happen. So those two probabilities must add up to 1. So please get this into your notes, pause the video, make sure you've got that written down somewhere so you understand what's going on. Okay, so looking at activity 1, I want you to tell me which of these are exhaustive events. Okay, so you will need to copy this table into your book. All right, pause the video and then see if you can answer these here. In fact, we'll do the first one together. So if I was throwing a dice, okay, I've put here the events that can happen are 1, 2, 4, 5 and 6. Are these exhaustive? Is that the only things that could possibly happen? Well, the answer to that is no, because I could also get a 3. So these are not exhaustive events. Okay, so pause, copy that table out, okay, and have a go at filling in that last column. Okay, so hopefully you've got your answers filled in. So let's have a look. If I was picking a card from a pack of cards and I'm looking at the suits, is this an exhaustive set of events here? Well, it is. These are the only 4 suits that you can get. You can't get any other suits. So yes, this is exhaustive event. If I was picking a card from a pack and I was looking at the number or the symbol on the card, I've got here ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, queen, king. Can I get any other numbers? No, I can't. So again, this is a set of exhaustive events. So yes. If I'm picking a counter from a bag of red, blue and green counters, is blue and green the only things that could happen? Well, no, because I've already said there's red counters in there as well, so that is not in a list of exhaustive events. If I'm tossing 2 coins, okay, are the only things that can happen that I get 2 heads and 2 tails? Okay, think about that one. If I'm tossing 2 coins, is the only thing that can happen that I get 2 heads or 2 tails? Well, the answer to that is no, because I could have a head and a tail. So I could have a different one on each coin. Okay? So hopefully this has helped you just understand a little bit about what exhaustive events are. So the other keywords we had were mutually exclusive. So when events cannot happen at the same time, they are called mutually exclusive. So here's a couple of examples. So when I throw a dice, getting a 5 and getting a 6 are mutually exclusive. When I've thrown the dice, I'll either get a 5 or I'll get a 6. I can't get both of them. Okay, so they're mutually exclusive. However, if I'm picking a card from a pack of cards and I'm looking for 5 or club, okay, these are not mutually exclusive because I can get a 5 and a club at the same time. And here's the example here, the 5 of clubs. So these can happen at the same time. So getting a 5 and getting a club are not mutually exclusive. So get those into your notes, and then down here, so if you pause to copy that down, and then activity 2 is similar again. We've got another table that you will need to copy into your books, and then you need to fill in the last column. So if you pause, get that copied in. Okay, hopefully you've filled in that last column. If you haven't, just pause because I'm going to go through the answers. So, when I'm throwing a coin, are heads and tails mutually exclusive? If I'm throwing one coin, can I get a head and a tail at the same time? I can't get a head and a tail at the same time, so they are mutually exclusive. If I'm picking a card, can I get hearts and clubs at the same time? No, so we have that yes, they are mutually exclusive. Can I get a 5 and hearts at the same time? Okay, well I can get 5 of hearts, so these are not mutually exclusive. If I'm picking a counter from a bag of red, blue and green counters, are red, blue and green mutually exclusive? Yes, they are. They can't happen at the same time. If I'm choosing a student from Embrook School and I want either a year 9 or a girl, are they mutually exclusive? Okay, no they're not. They can happen at the same time. So hopefully you'll have understood there what the definition of mutually exclusive is. Okay, so why do we need to know this? Well, because it affects our probabilities. So, 2 things we need to understand. If events are mutually exclusive, we can add their probabilities, okay? And if events are exhaustive, we know the probabilities add up to 1. We had that on the first page, okay? So this is going to help us now with the questions. So, looking at example 1, we've got Wycombe Wanderers play a match of football. The probability they win the match is 0.28. The probability they draw the match is 0.55. Work out the probability they lose the match. Well, I've got 3 things that I'm thinking about: win, draw and lose. So I need to think, are they mutually exclusive? Are they exhaustive? Okay, so win, lose and draw are exhaustive, nothing else can happen, okay, and they are mutually exclusive. You can't win and draw at the same time, you can't draw and lose at the same time, okay. So the probabilities, we're going to add the probabilities and they have to add up to 1, okay. So that will then help me work out what the probability I lose, the probability they lose the match is. So the probability of the win plus the probability of the draw plus the probability of losing adds up to 1. So if I fill in the probabilities, I've got 0.28 and 0.55. Okay, if I add those 2 together, I get 0.83. So I need to find out, so the probability of losing is going to be 1 minus 0.83, which is 0.17. Okay, let's have a look at another example. Here I've got a table, and this way of presenting the question is quite common in a GCSE. They often present tables with bits missing. Okay, so in this question it says there are only pink, yellow, green and blue counters in the bag. The table shows the probability that a counter taken at random from the bag will be pink, green or blue. Work out the probability the counter taken is yellow. So again, because there's only pink, yellow, green or blue, pink, yellow, green and blue are exhaustive events. Okay, but we also know they're mutually exclusive. They can't happen at the same time. So I know I can add those probabilities, but I also know they have to add up to 1. So if I add 0.5, 0.1 and 0.2, they will add up to 0.8. So I need to do 1 minus 0.8, okay, to work out yellow, and that's going to come out as 0.2. There. So I would copy that table out if I were you, and just fill in that there. Okay, but this is often how they present a probability question, looking at mutually exclusive and exhaustive events. So over here, there are 8 questions. Okay. What I suggest you do is pause and work your way through the questions. I will scroll up. There we go, so you can get that last question. Okay, put those answers in your book, and I will publish the answers with tomorrow's work that I'm setting for Miss Meredith. Okay.